Hello and welcome to my writing corner. I am your host Rowan. I am a lover of stories and I want to help you become a better writer. Today, let's take a look at the secret to becoming a great writer. Great writers are not born great writers. Mastery takes a while. Jeff Cole then writes in his book Talent is Overrated that what separates world-class performers from anyone else is simply hard work. But how much hard work? This is where the controversial 10,000 hours concept comes from. If you do the math, using 4 hours a day times 5 days a week is 20 hours per week. Times that by 50 weeks equals 1,000 hours a year. That means the 10,000 hours researchers have found is 10 years of deliberate practice to achieve mastery. What should you do for 10 years? This means that someone who has mastered the art of writing is someone who has mastered the art of revision. The key to writing is to keep going, to keep improving and iterating until you have created a piece of work that you are proud of. You're someone who demands excellence from yourself. You know that to get recognition, you have to tell an organized, interesting story, and you're not afraid to put yourself out there. Growing your skills. You grow your skills by networking, reading books about the topics you're writing about, practicing different techniques, and asking for feedback on your work. You are constantly striving for knowledge by seeking out new opportunities for intellectual growth. You need to desire growth and challenge yourself to actively create opportunities for learning new skills and knowledge. 10 years is a long time, so one key behavior is to have a sense of urgency. The more you write, the better you become as a writer. The more you read, the smarter you become as a reader. The more time you spend on research, the smarter your writing becomes. Having a goal for motivation. It is critical to be constantly working, and having a goal may help motivate that daily habit for the years required. One goal can be a relentless desire towards getting published. Given the ever-growing demand for great writers that can produce quality work at a fast rate, you need to have a sense of urgency because there is always someone who is also working with the same goal and started a day earlier. For every story, there are 365,000 stories under construction. Think about this number. If you live in a particular city for 10 years, you will see a lot of things come and go, but the population will remain the same-ish. The same holds for writing books. If you live in the publishing industry for 10 years without meeting your publishing goal, someone else will eventually publish your book. Be willing to change. You have to be willing to change your words, sentences, and paragraphs as you go. The best writers are the ones that can take criticism and use it to improve their writing. They are not afraid of editing and rewriting their work because they know that it will make it better. Not wanting to change your words may come from many places, such as not wanting to have to start over or not wanting to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Most people are too afraid to try and fail. They avoid trying because they know they will fail, but you need to be willing to try even if you might not succeed right away. Don't worry about what others think of your writing. No matter how hard it is and no matter how many times you rework the same sentence, the most important thing is that you're able to have your voice out there so it can inspire other people and you can provide your experience and views to help and entertain others. Trust your instinct and follow what you know to be best for your story. How do you find inspiration? Inspiration comes in many forms, but it's often a spark of something that happens in your everyday life that touches you or brings back memories from your past that you had forgotten until then. Sometimes it's an idea you may be coming up with for a plot, sometimes it's a line of dialogue that speaks to you, or sometimes it may be a song that you hear that gives you a feeling. A feeling of love or a feeling of sadness. These feelings can be transferred to others through your voice and writing, and they can touch everyone who reads your writing for years to come. That's the power of writing. Crafting that story comes about through continuous iterations. Writing, they say, is rewriting. Be your own worst critic. A writer's worst critic is themselves. It's important to be honest with yourself about your writing and be willing to admit when your writing needs improving. One note of caution is if you edit your work too much, you might lose some of its original intended meaning. You'll need to find the balance that works for you between being too critical and not enough. It's important to be honest with yourself about your writing and be willing to admit when your writing needs improving. Read a lot of writing. Since you are in the process of figuring out your voice, you must read lots of really good writers. In addition to reading others' work, reading is one way that writers can learn from each other and improve their writing in different ways. In the meantime, keep practicing your writing. Remember that mastery takes time. In the meantime, grow your skills, have a goal to motivate yourself, be willing to change, find your inspiration, be your worst critic, read a lot, and if you come away with one concept, remember this: the secret to becoming a great writer is to iterate. If you've enjoyed this video, consider liking it. It helps the channel out, and subscribe for your weekly dosages of writing tips. Until next time, keep writing.